There was a time when role-playing games were difficult. You could grind, you could level up, you can collect the best possible loot, but it all came down to individual encounters. Sure, you can have the best equipment, but the enemy could get a lucky shot off. A monster could critical you, and then that'd be it. You would die. And that's the end. This places the fear into every player that decides to step into a role. But modern role-playing games do not have that fear. Now if you die in an encounter, just reload the previous save. No risk at all. Sword of the Star of the Pit takes role-playing back to its roots, with a competent roguelike based off of old-school tabletop rules. Yet again, character could have the best weapons, but unless you know how to use it, it's just a paperweight. A plague is spreading across a colonized world, and the only hope is to explore an ancient alien facility in hopes of finding a cure. This is where the player character comes in. You are tasked with exploring the depths of this underground facility. You, alone, by yourself. No team, no party, unknown facility. This is where the potential fear can set in. You have no idea what is down there, but your goal is to tread through the facility down to the bottom in hopes that you can find a cure. It is far from an empty facility. There are traps and defenses set up by the previous inhabitants, as well as types of mutated creatures that have moved in since. On top of the enemies, there are other dangers that must be respected. You're the only person, and as such you could only carry so many supplies. Bullets are hard to come by, and food is even harder to find. You can hope that the freezer in the facility still can still be opened, and then actually have some type of provision. More than once you'll have to make a decision as to whether or not to eat that piece of flesh that was dropped off a monster, or take a risk at maybe a spoiled piece of cheese. Maybe you'll survive. At every turn, the pit wants to kill you. Even trying to access a console could sound an alarm that alerts the creatures to your whereabouts. Doors are locked. Doors can also be trapped. A room marked armory sounds like a great place to check out, but there could be some very high-powered defenses there. At some point, you can just say the hell with this floor and then try and find the stairs. But you don't know where they are. You can use your gun to take out enemies. Sure, guns sound great, but you run out of bullets somewhere down the line. Even leveling your characters is stressful because you are unsure of what is to come, so you're unsure of what skills will be useful. Should you increase your proficiency with weapons, or upgrading your lockpicks so you might be able to obtain food and supplies? All these elements create a very, very stressful environment for the player. Sure, the game is not built around pop-out scares or typical horror tropes, but when you die, you die. And the pit and what it lies inside the pit wants you to die. I think that's a good reason to be very afraid.